All right, to all those out there saying that Ryan's a cloud chaser, this one's for you. With that being said, hit the thumbs up, hit the sub, hit the bell. You know what to do. And with that being said, let's get into the video. So here's the deal. De La Hoya came out and said that they have not talked to anybody from Manny Pacquiao's camp, that he doesn't even know who to contact because he has no idea who even represents Manny Pacquiao, that the fight isn't going to happen. However, one of their other employees said that Manny Pacquiao's camp did reach out to them, but it didn't go anywhere. So, in my opinion, it's a little confusing what's going on there because you got conflicting things from two guys in the same organization. One guy's at the head, one guy that's pretty high up on the totem pole, both saying different things. However, at the end of the day, it only matters what Ryan Garcia says because he's the fighter. And what Ryan came out and said now is he's not fighting anybody unless it is Manny Pacquiao or Tank Davis. Those are the only two options. He's not going to move forward. He's not going to fight anybody else unless it's one of those two guys. Now, what we do know about Manny Pacquiao is he's kind of in negotiations with Terrence Crawford, but I highly doubt the fight's going to happen because I really need to do a video on this by itself, but I just want to say this. Manny said he wants $40 million to fight Terrence Crawford. He didn't say he'll pay Terrence Crawford $10 million to fight him. He said he wants $40 million and Terrence can have 10. So what that means to me is that he wants Top Rank to foot the bill. Now, Bob Arum's been very cheap when it comes to Terrence Crawford. I highly doubt he's going to fork out $40 million for Manny Pacquiao, especially during COVID when nobody's really getting in the seats to watch these fights because they're just not allowed to. So I don't know if that fight is actually going to happen because $40 million is just, basically it's a $50 million fight minimum. And I don't know it does $50 million. And how Arum is talking right now, I don't know if he's willing to spend $50 million on that fight. Hell, he just let his fighter Tio go to purse bid. So the dude obviously right now is not trying to fork out money. He's not trying to take losses. And he's not putting himself in a position to possibly take losses. So I really think that Manny fight is off the table. Now, moving forward past that, we have Tank Davis. Now, the Tank Davis fight is going to be very hard for Ryan Garcia to make as well because Tank is injured. I believe he broke his hand. At least that's what the report said. I haven't seen x-rays to make that concrete. So I really haven't seen evidence of it other than just having Tank's word for it in a statement that I read on the internet. How reliable is that? So the thing is this. If Manny does get the Bud fight, then that means that Ryan's not going to fight Manny. If Tank is truly injured, we don't know how long it's going to take for him to come back to the ring, especially with a hand injury. That could take anywhere from 6 months to a year if it's really broken. And then he's got to get in there and see if he can even throw the punch without it hurting because he might have nerve damage. That'll take even longer for him to adjust to when he's throwing his punches. So, again, I look at it like this. I don't know where Ryan goes if he puts his foot down into the sand and says, I'm not moving unless I get one of these two guys because it looks like because of circumstances, neither one of these two guys are going to be available. Manny could be because, like I said, I have my doubts that Arum's going to spend that much money. And who knows, if the Terrence Crawford fight does not happen with Manny, maybe Oscar can pay him $40 million. Because I'm going to make a crazy statement, but I really think that a Ryan Garcia versus Manny Pacquiao sells more than a Terrence Crawford versus Manny Pacquiao. And I only say that because Terrence Crawford, you're only going to get over so many people who already know him. Ryan Garcia on the other side has social media, and he's got boxing fans who know who he is. So he's got it from two fronts that are going to come watch him fight. And then you can make like the young cub fighting the old lion, trying to pick up the torch, be the next star. Like there's a lot of stuff that can go into that. Whereas with Terrence Crawford, yeah, it's a great fight, but Manny doesn't even have a belt anymore. So you can't even like run. They're going to unify, let me say it right, unify the division. They're not even doing that. So all your publicity, all your tick marks for selling the Manny Bud fight, to me, got taken off the table when Manny got stripped of the title or put in recess, which was bullshit. But again, I personally believe that Ryan versus Manny will sell. So if Bob Arum isn't willing to do it, I do believe that Oscar could at least make 50, 60 million with a Manny Pacquiao, depending on where they have the fight at. I believe he could pull it off with Ryan Garcia. So again, I think it's a bigger money fight, and I think that if Ryan is truly serious about it, he's more than likely able to get that Manny fight over a Tank Davis due to Tank Davis's injury. Now, if it turns out that Tank Davis did not break his hand, that it's just a bruising, then Tank would be ready to go in just a few months. So, again, I don't know where Ryan goes from here, because worst case scenario for Ryan, like I said earlier, coming back full circle, is Manny fights Bud. Tank Davis is injured for 6 months to a year, so you just gonna sit stagnant and not fight anybody? You gotta fight somebody, or you're gonna get ring rust. And when you get ring rust, you're gonna lose because you're not at your peak form condition. You're not at your pinnacle. You're coming down the hill. So the only other option I see for Ryan, if he doesn't get Tank or Manny, is you need to go for Devin Haney. That's really what all this video led up to say, that Ryan Garcia needs to fight Devin Haney. I think that is the easiest fight for him to win. It gives him a legitimate title, and then it also sets up a future fight for him and Teofimo Lopez so he can become undisputed. Because I think Ryan can beat Teo. I really do. I know a lot of people that disagree with me, but I just see too many openings in Teofimo Lopez's defense. And I think because of Ryan's speed and power, that it's going to be very hard for Teo to deal with that. And then Teo also being shorter, so he's got to get on the inside. I know some people be like, well, Luke Campbell knocked him on his butt and blah, 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 blah. That's true. He did. But what did Ryan do? He got up and knocked out Luke Campbell, a man who's never been knocked out. So you got to say that even though Ryan's chin has showed flaws, his power has showed that he can also knock solid competition out that's never been knocked out before. And that's no, small milestone to do. That is a big achievement to knock out a guy like Luke Campbell. And if he's got that type of power, he very well could knock out a Teofimo Lopez, especially with as many holes as he has in his defense and how frequently he could connect when he lets his hands go. So again, let me know what y'all think in the comment section. What do y'all think Ryan should do? Do y'all think he's dumb for digging his feet into the sand and saying he's not going to fight anybody but one of those two guys? Do y'all think he should fight Devin Haney? What option do y'all think he should go? Or do y'all have somebody else in mind? That's my choices, though. If not Manny, if not Tank, Devin Haney's the only option, in my opinion.